Dools.
Has.
2020 has already been pretty ordinary, but there is still a lot to look forward to. So let's take a deep dive into the films and the state of the industry as it's still slated for this year. But until then, Dools, just roll the intro. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the More Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Ted to my Bill, Edward Dools Dooley. Dools, how you doing tonight, mate?
G'day, Haz. Yeah, I'm doing alright, mate. Just hanging out here in my incredibly dark room. Have you always wondered why it's so dark on my end?
A little bit. I don't want to ask questions that I don't want the answers to, though.
My bedroom light just straight up doesn't work and it hasn't for months. We haven't done anything about it. So this is just what I...
Wow, so you've just been living in darkness.
Well, I mean, obviously I've got the natural light coming in during the day. But if it's like one of those really overcast days and it's pretty dark out, I'm pretty much just in darkness. So, yeah. That's what's happening with me. It's a little depressing, but, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of like
it. Makes you go into a little cocoon, Dools. A little cocoon.
How are you, mate?
Man, I'm good. Same old, another day, another dollar. You know, kind of a bit excited to talk about this topic that we're about to talk about for this show. You know, It's a bit more optimistic than some of the ones that we've been talking about in the previous. So we last couple of weeks we've been doing like the Last of Us spoiler cast and Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast. They're not happy. You know, they're not really happy mediums or pieces of media. So I'm very keen to get into something that, again, is optimistic and positive. A positive look into the future, Dools, do you reckon?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Speaking of positive looks into the future, Dools, let's say that an average Joe stumbles upon the podcast More Cops on Duty on Spotify and has no idea what it is. How would you, Dools, Edward Dools Dooley, describe it to him?
I'm really starting to get a little fed up with Joe. I can't quite wrap my head around the fact that each and every week, or twice a week actually, because we do 2 podcasts, of course, but he still somehow doesn't know what this podcast is. Granted, I'm still not entirely sure what it is, and I'm on the fucking thing, but he should have some semblance of an idea, wouldn't you agree?
Well, to give him a bit of defense, maybe he's Guy Pearce's character out of Memento, and he keeps forgetting. Are you making fun of his medical condition there, Dools?
Well, no, now you've just thrown me for a loop, Haz, because now you've basically put me in the position of making light of someone's disability. And, well, I don't really know what to do. You've fucking outmaneuvered me in a way that I just didn't expect.
That's right. You have to get up pretty early to get past me.
I don't know, Haz, if anyone's going to drill through to the density that is Guy Pearce's character's skull in Memento, I think it's you, mate. Take it away.
More Cops on Duty is internet's #1 film, game and TV podcast. We post twice a week, Wednesday for your prime show, Friday for your more review/discussion show. You can find us on all your favourite streaming services, in particular Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and YouTube. We're on all your favourite socials, just when Dools decides to post. You can also catch all your latest film reviews when films start to come out again on morecopsonduty.com, as well as Real Deal, internet's #1 film journalism website. How's that, Dools?
Yeah, nice, mate. You should do that every week.
Nah, it's less funny if I do it, Dools. You know that. You're the heart and soul of this podcast.
Oh, well, look, you'd never catch me saying it. I'm very modest, but look, yeah, I appreciate it nonetheless.
I should read out our chat log. Dools, as I said, today's Friday. This is our supplementary podcast, a more review discussion sort of podcast. We've last couple of weeks been doing some spoiler casts, some reviews on games, and we want to get back into the film world, which we love. And as cinemas have been closed for majority of 2020 now, it's over 3 months now.
But they've just reopened.
We want to.
I should say yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want to have a look into the future of the cinema industry and the movies that are still slated to come out in 2020. But how do you want to roll with this? How do you want to work this?
Well, I think we could start with kind of just a general overview of the industry right now and what's happening, and then we can get into some of the films that we can still be excited about because a good chunk of some of the big blockbusters that were previously promised for this year have been shifted all the way to 2021. A reasonable amount are still scheduled to come out this year, albeit more Q3, Q4. But so I think we'll get into that. But firstly, so I think a story came out this morning that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is of course a Marvel film, which will be the very first. I think this might be the very first Asian-led superhero film, like in general. Is that correct? I'm just trying to think. I think it might be Asian, like fully, like as the lead protagonist.
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
Like a proper.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Anyway, let's just run with that. I'm pretty sure it is. And because we're not going to count whatever his name is, Seth Rogen's sidekick in the Green Hornet, or are we?
No, we're not going to. No, we're not.
Okay, so I think we're safe as. So what's exciting is that they're actually restarting filming. They're aiming to do so at the end of this month. But right here in Sydney, Australia, and right here at Fox Studios. So and I think this has a lot to do with the fact that Australia's just handled the pandemic and the outbreak of the virus, far better than a lot of other countries. And I think things are slowly but surely restarting production overseas as well. But I think Australia is just far more lax in terms of its restrictions. I mean, with the exception of quarantine, that mandatory 2-week quarantining when you get here. But I imagine all places are going to have that anyway. I think that's pretty cool. And from what I understand, they want to do a few more here in Australia. Like I think they did the last one, but Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm pretty sure they're going to do here again. So yeah,
it's just cheaper as well.
I don't know, for anyone out there who likes to be an extra or whatever in their spare time, I think this is your opportunity to get on a Marvel movie. This will be this is meant to be. I don't know. I know literally nothing about Shang-Chi, but I do know that I think it's finally, from what I understand, it's going to finally deliver on the real Mandarin, who was teased in Iron Man 3, who they did like a bait and switch twice apparently. So Guy Pearce was not the real Mandarin, it turns out. I feel like that was a last minute retcon, but and I don't know, this 10 Rings or whatever that is has something to do with that. And anyway, yeah, that should be cool. So I think that speaks to like a broader kind of opportunity Australia has to court more studios to come film here, and I think that's only going to be a good thing for our economy and for maybe even seeing like proper Hollywood movies set up studios right here. So I think which will then just who knows what the possibilities could come from that. I mean, just more acting gigs, more just more movie related career opportunities here in general, which I think is pretty exciting. I know that's something you and I both haven't ruled out. Let's and what else do we want to so basically I guess what I'm curious about is how theaters are going to bounce back from everything that's happened. And so we've already booked a couple sessions at our local cinema, Cremorne, the the Hayden Orpheum Theatre, I think is its full name, in Cremorne. And they're showing like a bunch of classics, like I think it's
Hayden Orpheum Picture Palace.
Yeah, that sounds. Thanks, Az. Thanks.
What a name! What a name!
That's a great name. That's it really is a palace. That marquee theatre is something.
It's gorgeous.
To behold.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Seeing Irishman there was beautiful. So I think they're going to have to convince us at first with like cheaper tickets and showing some old blockbusters, some old classics, things like that, which is what they're already doing. They're already kind of firing on all those cylinders, like across the board. I'm seeing Hoyt's, Event Cinemas, the Palace Group with their cinemas in Paddington and so forth. Dendy, Randwick Ritz, and of course Cremorne. So I think they understand that they're going to have to take a little loss up front to kind of win people back over, and then they can go from there. And as restrictions continue to lift even further, then things can more or less go back to normal. But from what I understand, I've at least seen this for Hoyts, but it's going to be basically one seat in between people, and that's mandatory. So I mean, I don't know, for people like you and me who, I mean, depending on the circumstances, I don't mind a packed theater, like if it's like an event, but more often than not, like a smaller, less packed, quieter movie going experience is like so ideal to me. I think I'm probably going to enjoy this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're obviously keen to go see some movies. I mean, I think like we're young and healthy. I think we can get away with kind of like going out and obviously still being cautious and being mindful of our not spreading the virus or whatever. But at the same time, like we can kind of go out and not have that in the back of our mind and worry too much. But I mean, do you think, like, I see a lot of online chatter, but this is largely like US based people, but they're all just like, oh, there's, I'm not fucking going to a cinema in this year at all by any chance. So I mean, do you think Australians might feel similarly, or do you think we, just because of how well we've done so far with everything, that maybe we have a different outlook?
I think it's exactly what you said. Like, there is a massive difference between how Australia has dealt with the virus and how America has dealt with the virus. I made a Facebook post the other day. I'm not sure if you saw it, Dools. I was like, watching the American government deal with the coronavirus is like watching the Ministry of Magic deal with Voldemort's return. They just deny it. Like, he's not back, which is fucking true. Their approach to this has been terrible. And the whole PR around it's been awful towards the entire public, and it's just created such mass
Sorry, did you post that on Facebook? I remember you showing it to me in like a group text or something. Did you post that? Did you do a status or something? I don't know. I must have missed it. Oh, no.
I think I did on Insta stories actually. But yeah, I think there's much less of a stigma in Australia than there is in America. People just need to continue to be safe, be hygienic, don't be fucking dumb. And yeah, we'll get through it all together. But in terms of the stigma to cinemas, it's going to be a lot less in Australia than it is America.
That should just be everyone's motto. Just don't be fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I like it as.
Absolutely.
Cuts right through.
Absolutely. You can apply that to any point in life. But should we just get, because I've got a list of films that are still slated to 2020. This might move, but it's still like, it shows what we still have to look forward to.
Yeah. I want to hear him.
So first off the bat, it's probably, I'm still very keen for this film. It might not, I'm not sure if you're interested or not, but Mulan, the live action remake. I thought the trailer looked great. When I first heard that the dragon, I can't remember his name, sorry. I was never a massive fan of Mulan, but that the dragon wasn't in it. That was voiced by Eddie Murphy. I was a bit wary, but the trailer was awesome. It completely won me over. I thought it looked great. So I'm kind of keen. Hey, what's your thoughts on Mulan?
Yeah, so I think the whole thing with the dragon not being in there was just, I think it's just as simple as they want it to be kind of like more grounded and realistic. So which is understandable, but I mean, I remember there just because I don't even know if I've seen Mulan, I just can't remember it. I'm pretty sure I would have at some point, but I can't remember a single frame of that film. So, but from what I understand, he was like, he added he was like the comedic relief, and this kind of Mulan and the dragon character would like bounce off each other and have this chemistry or whatever. So it just seems a little unusual that surely there'll have to be some sort of something else in there. This would be the first live action adaptation they'd have to rewrite substantially. to kind of fill in those gaps, I guess, where else his character in Mulan would have been. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I watched the trailer. I thought it looked cool. It looked like it just looked like a samurai movie, I guess. A Disney produced samurai film. But yeah, I think it could be good.
Yeah, I agree.
I did see that was pushed again though. So when is that now slated to come out?
I think it's slated around September, but it was originally slated to July until about a week ago. It was originally going to be July 28th, I believe, but with America being America, it's been pushed. Another movie that was originally in July, but has officially now been pushed to August, Dools. I know it breaks your heart, but Tenet.
I'm just so worried. We've already gone over this, but I'm so worried they're going to keep pushing it. And that was just like, just them like easing us, like just kind of like getting us used to the idea that, you know, I just feel like that we'll get to 2 weeks before August 12 and they'll be like, oh, we got to push it again, guys. Sorry. And it'll be like first week of September. And then it'll happen again until maybe, I don't know, we get it finally in October/November. I really wouldn't rule that out. But, and I think I told you this earlier today, I think on their social media, Warner Bros. Pictures, they did tweet, I don't know if it's a brand new poster, but I think it looked new, but it's this cool poster of John David Washington's character, and they were reaffirming the August 12th date. So, I mean, that kind of gave me a bit of confidence, actually. So, but honestly, I mean, it's not really going to be up to them. I mean, if the situation worsens in the US, which it very likely could, then they'll have no choice but to delay once more. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like just to the point of how Australia's been dealing with it better, like, what would be the downside to them giving, like, the studios giving us the film, some films now in America later, like those other markets later? I mean, it's been done in the past before, plenty with the US. Like, Tenet's an interesting one because you could make the argument that, well, you know, that's one of those like event films that people will jump on the internet and spoil. So maybe that's not the best example, but Mulan, I mean, who the fuck's going to care about spoiling Mulan? It's already out there. So I feel like that could be a great kind of test bed for Disney to kind of see, well, okay, well, we can put it out in this market first. And that's like great market research as well, like giving it to Australia and seeing how audiences take to it. And I don't know, maybe they could then decide, oh, well, it was pretty soft and their cinemas are open. Maybe we just chuck it on Disney Plus and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It's an interesting one. But I'm super keen for Tenet. Everything I've seen from it looks brilliant. I didn't watch the latest trailer, but I still don't know what the fuck's going on. But, you know, it's all with Nolan, dude. He never gives anything away with these trailers.
Do you buy into the theory it could potentially be an Inception sequel?
Oh, I'd love it if he does it well, because Inception's my favourite Nolan film. I love that film. Like, that film is perfect. So if he does it well, that'd be so sick. But we'll see. Like, do you reckon, like, at the end, like, Leo turns up or something?
No, I would hate that. I think more like...
We're building a team.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And Tom Cruise shows up as well, just because.
He's just there with the motorbike.
Matt Damon survived Interstellar. Yeah, no, maybe just like, I feel like if one person could connect it all, it should be Ken Watanabe's character, because he was like that. He was like the Nick Fury in Inception anyway, so that could be cool. And he's just like, look, you know, you've done this with I don't know, I mean, but it probably isn't. It just looks like Inception, except that instead of reality, it's time. So yeah,
we'll see. I'm very keen. Next up on the list, this is more for me than you. It could be for you. Who knows? Bill and Ted 3: Face the Music. Cannot wait for this film. I love the first two Bill and Teds, and anything with Keanu Reeves I'm in. And the trailer looks like it came out of the 90s. So like it doesn't look like it's going to win any Oscars.
Was this kickstarted? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. I just remember seeing like years ago, maybe the creator was like tweeting back and forth with, who does Keanu play?
Ted.
Okay, so he was tweeting back and forth with, I think, the guy who plays Bill. And it was like, yeah, no, we're still trying to get this to happen, blah, blah, blah. Like, we've got a script. We just need some takers or whatever. So, I mean, this has been in the pot for a while, hey. They've been trying to get this made for years, it seems like.
Yeah, it's been rumoured for literally years.
What are these films, like, what are they about? What happens?
Oh, Dools, it's so good. So the first one, they have to write like a paper for their history class, and they find this time machine. So they go back in time and ask all the relevant people in history to help them with this like history assignment. So they go to like Joan of Arc, like Abraham Lincoln. There was a Greek philosopher,
Socrates, Plato.
Socrates. Because they're like, oh, what's up, Socrates? It's so good.
Great.
It's so good. I love that movie so much.
All right, that's actually such a good premise. I had a completely different kind of idea in my head. So yeah, that's awesome.
No, and
wait. What's the fucking franchise, that like 80s franchise or early 90s franchise where it's like two dudes but they go to like hell or something? And
I think that's the Bogus Journey.
So it is still Bill and Ted. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. What a fucking... Okay.
I know. Like, but they also headline them. They've got a rock band where it's just those two, and it's called Wild Stallions. And they got a manager called Rufus, and every time he comes on, any time he comes on screen, they both go Rufus. Like, no matter what's happening, it's so good.
All right, you've sold me. I got to watch these.
Oh man, absolutely! Come over, watch them. I need to get back to them. But yeah, well, you got some time because you got to watch the first two before Face the Music, Dools.
That will surely be a VOD film.
No, that is as important as Tenet is.
Oh, I mean, I'll see it in cinemas. I'll see it in cinemas for sure. But I mean, at the same time, like, they could make, their money back easily if
they could
put it on digital.
So this was one of the first movies that was... This next title was one of the first titles that was postponed for COVID. It was supposed to come out in the same week that it was postponed. You know what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Other media people had seen it and have released reactions saying that it was absolutely excellent and blew the first one out of the water.
Oh.
I'm of course talking about A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Bond for a second.
No, Bond's on there. Don't worry.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, I almost forgot about this movie. Yeah, I'm heaps keen for this. When they first announced they were going to do... When they first announced when John first announced he was going to do Quiet Place 2, I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like same. Come on. You had a good thing. Don't ruin it. Not everything needs a fucking sequel. But I'm more than happy to, stand corrected and eat my words if if it looks good. And the trailer was pretty promising. It looked pretty good.
The trailer looks brilliant.
It didn't just look like a sequel. It looked like a brand new movie that was just set in the same universe. And I think that's what a smart sequel does, especially to a horror film, which, it's so easy to fuck up. It just looks like, okay, we've got a whole new slew of characters, and it looks like they're exploring kind of like the initial kind of like, or like, I guess, ground zero or whatever, the day when, these creatures or aliens first invaded. That's such a cool scene in that trailer.
It looked awesome.
Where one of those things just fucking like bounds into a police officer or whatever. Just horrifying stuff. And you can also tell the budget's been blowing up a little bit because you see a lot of the creatures in the trailer.
Yep. And you get one Cillian Murphy who looks so deranged and crazy. It looks awesome. There's that great scene where they show him that they have a baby and he's just staring at it.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
He's like, you. Oh, Dools. That is you in the fucking post-apocalypse. I'd tell you right now. 110%.
You don't want to know what I do to that thing.
Do you reckon you'd survive?
shit like that, it would always depend on the people you're with.
So if it was me and you out in the old apocalypse stores.
I don't know, man. I feel like we're just so naked over here in Australia. We don't have any guns or anything. We'd run at them with fucking butter knives or something.
Yeah, we'd be sweet, bro.
No, I think we'd be fine. We'd be fine.
We'd be the Ratchet and Clank of the apocalypse. That's all.
Dude, we've I'm doing backflips with you on my back and shit.
Yeah,
I love it. I've got a ray gun for some reason.
Where'd you get that from? I don't know. Next up, Dools. Now that you started to get into horror in the last couple of years, I'm not sure if you've watched this series, but I'm super excited for the third installment of the Conjuring series, which is subtitled The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. The first two I thought were excellent. The first one was like a massive jump on the scene from James Wan, and the second one I think just backed it up so well, but doing it just slightly differently. So I'm really, really keen to see what they do with the third one. What do you reckon about The Conjuring 3, Dools?
Yeah, I haven't seen the first or second. So are these the good horror movies? Are these ones good?
Yes.
Are these the ones
the first two are excellent.
Are these the ones with Patrick Wilson and Vera? What's her name?
Farmiga. Yep.
Yeah.
Those
okay.
two.
Yeah, they are meant to be pretty good, aren't they? Is it,
yeah.
Who
So
was one of the directors involved with one of them? He's a famous director.
James Wan.
You did say that. Sorry, completely. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So the first one has 85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
And the second one has 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. And for horror movies, that's fucking huge.
So did James Wan directed
both of them? Yes.
Okay, he's back for this one?
He is not. No.
Ooh.
He's producing. He did the story and he helped write it, and he's executive producing.
Okay.
But Michael Shaves is...
I'll tell you why he's not directing. He's too busy with Aquaman too. That's why.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's honestly probably it. And the guy that did Michael Shaves, who's doing Conjuring 3, also did The Curse of La Llorona.
That wasn't incredible from what I hear, but...
Yeah, you don't want to know what the Rotten Tomatoes is on that.
Oh dear.
But I'm still keen because, I watched Curse of La Llorona. It was fine. I don't think it's 29% on Rotten Tomatoes bad.
Hey, did you ever see the Guillermo? I don't think he directed, but produced scary stories to tell in the dark.
No, I never saw that.
I remember seeing a little featurette on the costume design and that, and it's fucking horrifying, but also incredible. Yeah. It's some of the best costume design I've ever seen.
Well, it just got greenlit for a sequel.
Everything, even there's this big bloated, horrifying looking pale woman.
Yeah,
her eyes gouged out and everything, and it's it's all real. It's all practical effects. It's I have no idea how it wasn't nominated. It's actually stunning. But yeah, probably worth a watch.
So that's The Conjuring Part 3, Dools. Next up, I think I already know your opinion on this film, but The Kingsman, Dools, is still due to come out this year. The first one, excellent. Golden Circle was not good at all. I feel like it was way too overgrown. It was just plain boring at the end of the day. It was way too long. The characters didn't interest me, and I thought the plot was a bit shit. But The Kingsman, I'm optimistic. He's 1 from 2, so I'm very much lenient to give him a second chance. Matthew Vaughn, but the trailers look great. I'll be honest. With Ralph Fiennes, looks awesome. I think he's a very, very appropriate addition to the cast. What do you reckon, Dawes?
Yeah, look, I'll give it a shot. I think, I agree. I think he deserves a second shot, Matt Vaughn. The first one was so good that I'm okay, of course I'll give you another shot. Golden Circle was just such a...
it was a letdown.
It's just too long as well. It was 2.5 hours.
Wait, you could
cut out you could cut out a third of that movie, a good third. Anyway, still waiting for the. I bet the next one will be. If it's not Kingsman 3, it'll definitely be Statesman or something. Oh no, yeah, no, it will be Kingsman 3. But Channing Tatum's definitely gonna be the lead in that. Is my guess.
Really? Okay, fair enough.
Well, they set him up at the end of 2.
Fair. Well, Dools, what do you think about the Candyman?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much about it. Don't think I
saw the trailer. I wasn't a massive fan of the trailer, if I'm being honest. They kept trying to, how because it's produced and written by Jordan Peele. It's not directed by him. It's a first-time director. Nina Da Costa. I think I pronounced that correctly. Da Costa. In the movie Us, the trailer was brilliant because they kept doing the remix of Five on it, which was awesome. Made it really eerie, and they tried to do that again with Candyman with Say My Name. And it just didn't work for me at all, the trailer, so I'm a bit less looking forward to this, a bit less anticipating this than I was before the trailer came out. But what do you reckon?
He's got a heart on Jordan Peele for these like trailers and like remixing these classic like R&B songs to have like to just be like terrifying and go to horror movie trailers. I like that theme. I hope he continues that trend. Because I'm pretty sure they did it for Get Out as well. I just can't remember the song. So yeah, no, I mean, I'll give it a shot. I thought he was just producing. That's interesting that he's written it as well. I think it's definitely worth checking out then. Yeah, I mean, dude, sometimes a trailer just does a film a disservice. I think it could be that agreed. It could be that he's like, oh no, we don't want to spoil this and that, blah blah blah. So maybe it wasn't an overly impressive trailer, but yeah, no, I think worth keeping an eye out on.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of slasher movies, so I hope it's really good. There's another slasher movie that will come up in a couple of times, couple turns, that I'm really looking forward to. And I hope it still keeps the release date for this year. But I'm a massive fan of slasher movies, so I'm really enjoying this, revival, Dools. But next up on the list, Dools, it got delayed again, but I believe it's now coming out in October, is Wonder Woman 1984. Did you like the first one?
Yeah, I did. I think it was like arguably the first, at least critically received, like really good DC film. I mean, I like Man of Steel. I think there are some bad BVSs, okay, but that was like the first great one, and just because it finally did what it should have been doing this whole time, DC, which is just telling, a singular cohesive story about a single hero, and it pretty much copied Marvel's formula for a superhero movie, like or first quarter is origin story, second half is like establishing one of the characters' powers, having some conflict, meeting the rest of the cast, and then the third act is just the show off with the villain or whatever. So I mean it played it pretty safe, but it was pretty good. I think Gal Gadot is a pretty good Wonder Woman. Chris Pine was good. So yeah, but it's I actually haven't watched a single. I know there's at least 2 trailers out for this already, isn't there, or something? Or
I think there's only one. It's a great trailer.
Like, I haven't watched it, but I might, because it'll be real interesting to see how they bring back what's his name, Chris Pine's character.
Yeah, they don't explain that at all in the trailer.
Oh no, well I hope they don't. But you'll hope they address it. I did see something interesting though. I saw maybe a week ago. Just a headline. I didn't really go much further into the article, so who knows? It could completely contradict the actual headline itself. But basically, it was like Christian Wiig, who I think plays the villain, and Gal Gadot say on. So it's like Christian Wiig, Gal Gadot on Wonder Woman 1984. Why it's not really a sequel in quotations, which I thought was interesting. So I think I don't know, the fact that it's like they jumped to the 80s. Trevor's back, and we're hearing rumblings about other DC films taking a lot of liberties with characters and timelines and realities or whatever. Maybe they're just starting to not give a fuck, and they're just going to be like, yeah, Steve Trevor's back. Like, I mean, I kind of hope they just don't explain it at all.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he's just there.
I honestly wouldn't care. Like, I mean, maybe we need to be a bit more laissez-faire with our superhero movies and just accept, well, if this is possible, then why the fuck wouldn't this be?
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Yeah,
it's composed by Hans Zimmer. Which is something to look forward to as well.
Dude, you know what's so funny? After Batman vs Superman, he said he was swearing off scoring superhero movies for the rest of his career, and then I think they somehow roped him back in for X-Men: Dark Phoenix of all movies, and now he's doing this again. I mean, money talks, bro.
It does indeed. It does indeed. But next up, Dools, Death on the Nile. We saw...
Oh, hold on. I know what this is. Yeah, no, fuck this movie.
Murder on the Orient Express sequel. The first one... Like, what do you reckon it's got on Rotten Tomatoes?
45%.
That your final
I think
answer?
it should be lower, but I think critics are probably a little nicer or whatever.
61%.
Oh, that is way too generous.
That's way too generous.
That movie
sucked.
was so boring. Like, we all killed him.
Yeah, it was so bad.
He lets them all off. He's like, ah.
That's exactly what happened.
Nah. I don't have time to ride you all up. Whatever.
Dools, next up on the list is one that I was talking about before that I'm really looking forward to, and I really hope it doesn't change. The release date is Halloween Kills. Loved the first one. The first one was so good. We saw it, a premiere of it, where we got to see a Q&A with Jamie Lee Curtis. And I loved it because in the Q&A, she did say that she's like, someone asked, would you come back and do a sequel? And she's like, I love John Carpenter. I owe my whole career to John Carpenter and the Halloween series. I love them with all my heart. But there is no fucking chance of doing a sequel. And Dools, exactly what you said, money talks. Because that movie made a fuckload of money. I'm like, let's do two more sequels.
Yeah, it would have been
"Let's
that.
go."
It would have been that, but I think you got to imagine she would have been so heartened to see the response to the film, which was like overwhelmingly positive from critics and fans alike. And they would have been like, Jamie, come on. They want you back. Come on. And she'd be like,
JLC.
Right.
Let's get it. Come on.
So, I'm stoked. I thought that was the first Halloween movie I'd ever seen. And, I know from what I understand, there's only actually really a good one, the first one, the very first one. So, wow, dude. I was blown away. I was like, this is really good. This is really well done. So, I'm
a massive Halloween fan.
And
I've watched every single Halloween film. Like as you said, there's definitely peaks. The Rob Zombie remakes are terrible, but I think that this new remake was really, really well done.
Yeah, that's awesome. And same director and writers. Hey.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was still slated for this year.
Yeah, it's due for late October. I think it's mid-October, actually. So it's around 16th of October. I don't know why you wouldn't put it out on Halloween, but I guess they want it out already for Halloween, I guess, maybe. Who knows? Who knows, Dools? Next up, Dools, we've got The French Dispatch. Do you know this?
No.
This is Wes Anderson's new film. A trailer came out a few months ago. About a month before...
it looks so good.
Before lockdown. Looks amazing, and I cannot wait for this.
Dude,
this
you can fucking spot one of his movies
as Halloween Kills.
You can spot one of his movies a fucking mile away.
You can. Each
largely because you can the first thing you see is Owen Wilson's nose. So you're like, hold on. Who's going to put Owen Wilson in a movie in 2020? Oh, Wes Anderson. Of course, it's Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Woody Allen's cancelled, so it has to be Wes Anderson. But yeah, no, it looks great. I'm still not sure what the entire movie's about, but that's all Wes Anderson. He kind of keeps that, under his sleeve until it comes out. But it looks like a lot of fun. Looks beautiful as always. So,
it gives me because obviously his last film was a return to the stop motion. What was it? Isle of Dogs, which was great. Really good.
Well, it was great.
But it gives me Grand Budapest vibes, which is by far, I don't know by far, but I think maybe my favourite of his. So, yeah.
Nice. My favourite of his is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, I still need to see that.
It is so good.
Maybe that'll become my favourite. Who knows? I gotta watch it.
Can I sell it with one sentence, Dools? I'll sell it to you. It might even make you want to watch it.
Is Bill Murray in the sentence?
Bill Murray plays a badger who is a lawyer.
Oh, fucking oath.
Yeah, right? Like, you didn't have to sell it to him. He's like,
wow.
Goes to his house. He goes, all right, so we've got a character who's a badger. He's like, what's his name? His name's Badger. And he's a lawyer. You're like, fucking give me
son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yeah, it's so good. You need to watch it. The Fox is played by George Clooney, and Mrs. Fox is Meryl Streep. Fucking all-round cast. Ooh. Owen Wilson plays...
himself.
He plays... he's just there.
It's an entirely anthropomorphic cast except for Owen Wilson.
That'd be so funny. No, Owen Wilson plays like a PE teacher that's there for one scene, but he's just there.
Okay.
He has to have been there. But no, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. Next up, Dools. We've got a huge film slated to come out in November, Black Widow.
Ooh.
That was one of the first as well to be delayed, and has now officially got a release date in mid-November. I'm very excited for this. I've been recently just watching the MCU films with my roommate who's never watched an MCU film before. We're midway through Phase 3. We just watched Spider-Man Homecoming the other night. What a film.
Oh,
What
dude.
a film.
Homecoming was one of the best movie-going experiences in recent years. Just to be like, we just looked at each other after the movie like, Spider-Man is fucking back. Like, Marvel
Would you say he's home, Dools?
I would have.
So what do you reckon about Black Widow? Are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I feel like, and you can look this up, but I think I'd be pretty confident saying that this has got to be, since literally the start of the MCU, the longest drought of there not being a Marvel film.
It's been a full year.
So,
last one was July.
It will literally been a year and a half, which is a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the longest gap before has been maybe 9 months or so, like in between Infinity War and not Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, I think, was the longest gap I could remember, because that was like July to March or so. And now it will have been July being Spider-Man Far From Home, and now November Black Widow. So yeah, dude, I'm craving some Marvel, man. I'm gonna be and then we're gonna get spoiled with like 3 of them in 2021. So I can't wait.
It's gonna be so good, dude. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, like we've said this before, time and time again, that I have a bit of I'm a bit less anticipated for this film just because there's no real stakes, because it's a prequel and we know what happens to the character in later films. But that being said, you've got David Harbour, you've got Rachel Weisz, you've got Florence Pugh. Pugh or Pugh? I think it's Pugh, actually.
I think it's Pugh, yeah.
Yeah. That is an all-round cast. And do you reckon Robert Downey Jr. makes an appearance, Dools?
Yeah, people have been saying that. I hope not. I really want Endgame to be his last physical appearance.
It's true.
If he had another one and it was like a physical and it was like a recording or whatever, it's got to be for like Peter or something. Not in I mean, look, timeline wise, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe he's at the very yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe
we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of one last outing, Dools, No Time to Die comes out November.
You know well and good how I feel about this film and how badly I want it to be good, man. Like, if this film isn't if it's anything less than great, because I'm setting the bar a little high, because they really need to win me back. But if it's anything less than great, I'm gonna be just so sorely disappointed. What are your expectations like?
Yeah, high. The trailers sold me. I wanted to go in with like mid-tier expectations, because we both went in pretty high with Spectre and didn't pan out well.
I might have predicted it would win an Oscar, but that's all.
Yeah, I'll know. He's got to be nominated. I'll never forget that. But if we're looking at patterns, Dools, Casino Royale, fantastic. Quantum of Solace,
every
not great.
second film.
Skyfall, fantastic.
Yep.
Spectre, not that great. No Time to Die. But Dools, what if it's shit?
I just it seemed like Daniel Craig was very involved, and you got to imagine the guy knows the character and has a deep respect for it at this stage. And this is all me speculating and doing some mind reading, but I got to imagine part of him decided to come back on, not because of the ridiculous paycheck, but because the guy's already doing incredibly well, and he's getting on in these years. So I mean, to suit up again, to do all the training again that would be required to get in shape for the role, all that stuff. It's no easy task, especially at someone of his age. But I gotta imagine a part of him was like, I can't finish it with Spectre. I just can't. Like, I can't do that to myself. That can't be the legacy. Even though there were 2 other great films, like I got to go out with a bang. So, and to hear how involved he was in bringing on different writers and directors and stuff, like he apparently was played a significant role in getting rid of Danny Boyle, who was attached to it for quite a long time, because apparently, and this was a rumor, but Danny wanted to like have it end with Bond dying, and Daniel Craig's like, get the fuck out. So they hired Carey, and look, he hasn't. He might have. I think he directed Beasts of No Nation. I don't know. I could be way off.
I think that's right. Let me look. I'll look it up.
I think he's directed at least one feature, but he's done some phenomenal TV. True Detective season 1 being up there, and Maniac's pretty good as well.
Yeah, right. Beasts of No Nation.
Okay, cool. So that's a pretty good movie.
He also did Jane Eyre in 2011 and Sin Nombre in 2009.
All right, cool. So so he's got some experience. I mean, look, what's one thing that is a tad concerning is too many cooks kind of situation with the writers. But I don't know. I mean, we see that a lot these days with films, and Marvel especially is notorious for having like these huge boardrooms of writers. But they still manage to pull things off. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but as I said, if this is anything less than great, I'm just going to be so fucking pissed off. Like, I just, like, Spectre it's okay. It's almost good. Not quite. It's almost good because it has some great set pieces and action moments and whatever. Or
the
like
beginning
they
was
always
so
do.
good.
They always do. Oh yeah, that one-shot pan in the Day of the Dead festival, fucking awesome. But you just got to stick the landing with the characters, villain motivations. Spectre had this really fucking boring side plot of back in London with the MI6 and people infiltrating the MI6 and whatever, and couldn't fucking stand it. Every time it went away from Bond, I was like, what are we doing? What do you mean? This is not belonging in a Bond film. Some boring little subplot back on home turf. Anyway, I hope they've learned their lesson. The trailer, as you said, is incredibly promising. Yeah, man.
Billie Eilish's song is awesome as well.
The theme is dope. The theme is very fucking cool. Yeah, man. I just this is probably it's probably on par with June for my most anticipated this year. So
nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of June, Dools. Next up, we've got Disney Pixar's Soul.
What the fuck?
Have you seen the trailer for Soul?
I may have. Dude,
Jamie Foxx.
Pixar.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. They are. Jamie Foxx starring. Looks brilliant. It's about a whole celebration of soul music and a man basically. It's all about a man's soul leaving his body and basically going into the soul world. It looks great. There isn't much more we can say about it, but it looks fun. It looks awesome. It looks like Pixar's going to make you cry again.
Dope.
As they always do. Next up, Dools. Do you remember the trailer for Free Guy? The one with Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, yeah, like the GDA style movie.
Yeah, that's still to come out.
Okay.
Why not? It looks fun, I guess.
Could be good.
Like, it's Ryan Reynolds, At minimum, it's going to be fun,
Yeah.
Next up, Dools. Here you go. Let's talk about some June.
Let's do it.
This could be what Lord of the Rings was for fantasy. This could be for sci-fi.
Whoa.
It could be.
That's a big call. Isn't Star Wars that for sci-fi?
Sci-fi still has a massive stigma, Yeah,
it does, but I don't know. I feel like more people are. Star Wars paved the way for that stuff, so I feel like sci-fi is far more mainstream
Star Wars
than.
is its own.
Well, actually, no. I think Game of Thrones.
Genre.
I think Game of Thrones actually even more so than Lord of the Rings took fantasy mainstream, big time. That's fucking like everyone.
Can you just talk about June? Can you just talk?
Yes,
about June?
yeah. Let's talk some June. Okay, we got to be getting. Oh, is Warner Bros? No, is this isn't Warner Bros? Is it June?
I'll look it up.
Okay, well, what I do know is that Comic-Con plan to pretty much have their entire event, and this is like, look, there are some silver linings to the virus, okay? Because for years now, I've been saying, or we've both been saying, is that all these exclusive trailers and sneak peeks of films and games or whatever that Comic-Con show that are only exclusive to the con attendees is such bullshit. And I would happily pay X amount to just, buy into a stream online, like, $5 US, $5 US, and watch all those reveals. And it seems like we're finally going to be getting that. And I'm fucking stoked. I mean, I think June is like the perfect place to show that kind of movie. So I think we might be seeing a trailer sooner rather than later. And
you're correct with saying Warner Brothers, by the way, Dawes. You're very correct.
Okay, that's cool because they're going to be at Thingo big time. So with DC stuff. So man, I'm very he's made one of my favorite films of all time, Blade Runner 2049. Prisoners and Arrival are also exceptional films. Sicario is also very good. So I'm just I don't really know much about Dune. I know there's a book. I want to read the book. I also want to watch the 89 David Lynch film, but I'm not going to do any of that until after. I don't want to go in with any preconceived notions of this film. I want to go in blank. There's just like this guy has a proven track record. I'm blindly confident in what he can do.
What's his name, Dawes?
You fucking piece of shit. I was trying so hard to avoid saying it.
I knew you were. This guy has been.
Well, okay, hold on, Naz. Give me a a drum roll, whatever. It is Denny. Okay, so that would be the first name. Denny. Hold on, Denny Villeneuve.
We'll say it again. You'll be quick.
Denis Villeneuve.
One more time.
Denis Villeneuve.
Dominic DeCocco. Yeah, that's pretty close. Denis Villeneuve. Yeah. I echo everything you say. The movie looks exceptional. Has absolute potential, and this guy hasn't missed a step. So I think he's one of, if not the best working director now.
Whoa. I agree.
If we think of his track record, man, he's 100% at the moment, which is huge. But moving from that, Dawes, we've got two more left. We've got Coming to America 2. I'll be first to say that this is one of my guilt films that I've never actually watched the first Coming to America. I'll definitely watch it before the sequel comes out.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's Eddie Murphy in his prime.
Oh, cool. I'm a massive Eddie Murphy fan. I've watched all Beverly Hills Cops.
It's like Beverly Hills Cops Eddie. Like he was peaking.
Massive Beverly Hills Cops fan. I love him. But do you have anything to add for Coming to America 2?
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm pretty sure Arsenio Hall is actually back as well, and maybe oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Who voices Darth Vader? James L.
Jones.
Yep. So he played Eddie Murphy's father because Eddie Murphy was like a prince in some African country, and his father was the king. I think he's back as well.
Yep. So Arsenio Hall and James L. Jones are set as the cast.
Very cool. Interesting. I mean, I feel like this is Eddie Murphy's chance for him to kind of have his Chappelle moment and have a lot to say about the current state of, America and in the same stroke the world, and I don't know, like political correctness, society in general, and everything that's happening. So I think I imagine it's going to be a very relevant film. So I mean, yeah, I'm pretty keen to see what he has to say.
Yeah, well, like he came back last year with Dolomite Is My Name, and I thought that was awesome.
Dude, that's a good movie. That's funny as hell.
It's a really good movie. Yeah,
that was a hell of a comeback.
Dolomite is my name, fucking up motherfuckers is my game.
Yeah.
So good. Finally, Dools, last but definitely not least, would you say you have the need, Dools? The need for speed? Because Top Gun 2 Maverick comes out this December.
I think that was delayed to 21, bro.
Oh, really? Well, let's talk about Top Gun Maverick anyway. Are you looking forward to it? Have you watched the first one?
Dude, I nearly... Oh, no, you might be...
Still slated for 2020, bro. It's coming out 23rd of December.
Okay, so not...
I think I'm right.
Not September. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I nearly watched it the other day, bro, but I just I got distracted. But I will definitely... I've got plenty of time to watch it. I'll definitely watch it. maybe we might get lucky. They might even do a showing in a cinema
I was
ahead of time.
about to say that.
That
I
would
reckon they
be
will.
that would be the perfect place to watch it. So, yeah, dude, the trailer was so sick, and without knowing anything without knowing anything about the first film, I mean, it's we're flying fighter jets, and just what they've talked about with how they filmed it, they required the actors to actually sit in the cockpit and kind of so they could actually film them in G-force. Is just fucking cool. That's like classic Tom Cruise, only wanting the most pure cinema experience. He's such a purist. I really fucking appreciate that about him. That's why he keeps working with Christopher McQuarrie, because they're like the exact same way, and they think the exact same way with that. They're just he's like, apparently Chris was like to Tom with the Halo jump, all right, this is the one stunt I actually strongly recommend you don't do, Tom, because it's also because it's insanely expensive and really fucking complicated. And Tom's like, that just makes me want to do it even more. The man's a fucking nut. But he's dedicated.
He's unreal.
He's fucking dedicated.
I reckon he'd be fun to hang out with.
I'd love to get a beer with him, as long as he doesn't try to, recruit me to the cult. No, I'm kidding.
You're already in it, Dools. But Dools, that's all the list. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
Cool then, Dools. You know what to do. Close us off.
This has been the More Cops and Duty in Review episode, where we reviewed 2020 and what's left to come. Hey, there's still plenty to look forward to. Don't be down. There's still movies coming out. We're going to have a great time. Tune in next Tuesday for our usual installment of More Cops and Duty Prime. And in the meantime, catch us on social, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And, of course, you can find your podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast service of your choice. I'm Dools. Has is Has. You are you. See you later.